Hey, cycle breakers and barrier breakers alike. Welcome to the Phuck That BullShit podcast, where we advocate, educate, motivate, and create a safe space for you to embrace the mental wealth of marginalized and disenfranchised communities. We are serving no bullshit knowledge, tools, strategies, and insights. And yes, we will be entertaining. Our goal each episode is for you to leave feeling empowered, ready to take action and make meaningful choices that pave the way to your abundant mental wealth. So enjoy, like, subscribe, share, and discuss. Make sure you save it too, just in case you want to look back at it and get some more tips and things. The PTBS podcast is for education, empowerment, and inspiration. It is not a substitute for therapy or professional mental health care. If you're in need of additional support, please reach out to a licensed mental health provider. Warning: the Phuck That BullShit podcast is intended for mature audiences only. This podcast contains raw, unfiltered conversations about mental health, social issues, and breaking generational cycles. We keep it real, unapologetic, and explicit because healing and empowerment require honesty. We're going to have strong language and adult themes, unfiltered discussions on race, identity, and mental wealth, challenging bullshit narratives without censorship. So if you're easily offended, this might not be for you, and it's definitely not for kids. But if you're ready for bold, barrier-breaking conversations that empower, educate, and entertain, tap in and let's fuck that bullshit together. Let's go. All right.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I did that,
you know what? I'm gonna give you a shout out. That was hella nice, man. And a shout out to my nephew.
Nice.
Yeah, my nephew music in there. Yeah. Young in the God. Yeah. Thank you for letting us using that, baby. Because that went so smooth. It was so smooth.
For real.
Yeah. I didn't know I was gonna do that, but it did that. It did.
Yeah, it
I
did.
finally got talent. My son is talented.
Yes. Y'all gonna hear some more talent. Y'all ain't gotta worry about that because
he didn't get that from me. That come from his uncle. He didn't get that from me. I can't rap sing my life.
Tell the truth.
Y'all, welcome to the PTBS podcast. Fuck that bullshit. I am Chanel Baptiste, your favorite no bullshit therapist, and I'm here with my co-host and my baby girl, my oldest. I had a baby 25, almost 25.
Yeah, hold on.
Go. Oh goodness, big friend, Brian G Money. Y'all got anything y'all want to say before we get started?
Buy eggs from Weiss. If you got 100 points, they only $2.99.
All right. Let's get advice out there.
The embryo.
Buy eggs from Kroger's. Y'all can get 60 eggs for $24.99.
We need to go to Kroger.
Kroger's.
Do we need to?
Kroger's.
I thought black folk was boycotting Kroger's.
No, we boycotting Kroger's. Somebody let us know.
No.
Let friend know. No, I think Kroger's good.
Hey man, look,
Walmart,
I've been driving all over McKinney trying to find a store I can shop at. Okay.
Yeah. And if you're in an area with HEB is our friend. So like I don't remember how much eggs cost right now.
Kroger's good.
Kroger good?
Kroger's good. All right, thank you, Nate.
Yeah,
I can't keep driving all over the city looking for stores.
Right.
Look, and you know what I'm gonna do too? I'm gonna start bringing a list of folks, that we can shop at or directories and all that kind of stuff. Because in order to have this economical impact, like we need to do, we're gonna need to know where we need to go.
Right.
Speaking of economical impact, let's start here. There's 24-hour economic blackout on February 28th, which would be my honorary birthday and all. I want y'all to give me the gift of not spending your money at all whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Let them know how much impact we really have by having an economic blackout, one full 24-hour period. And y'all give us a comment and let us know if y'all gonna like abide, what you think about it. You know, we just want to hear what you got to say.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, because that'll make a shit. That'll say a lot.
Think about how much impact that's gonna have.
For real. For real. Damn, Amazon will go out of business.
That one. The key here, y'all, is to have everybody, as many people as possible, participate. That's how it works. That's how Target went down the way they went down, and all that. You know. And before we get started on our subject, as a matter of fact, I wanted to talk about, say, bravo, Black people, for the Target thing, because
yeah, that happened.
This lady on TikTok that was saying she lived close to a Target, and it's great that when we're not in spaces, we can't be blamed for stuff. And she has been watching how white folks have been not disproportionate, it's real. White people has been going down for the shoplifting. And she was like, I wonder how many people, because they was watching us so hard,
right?
How many people was getting away with things. So this ain't nothing they ain't been doing and all that. I'm not saying all white people steal, okay? We're not saying that. We're just looking at the disparities here, okay?
Right, because everybody does the same shit. You know
exactly. Exactly. But we don't want to get watched.
Right.
Just saying. I just want to get my stuff and pay for my stuff. That dude over there stealing, you're watching the wrong person. Just say, watch everybody. So today's subject, if y'all have not been paying attention already, is interracial relationships. Which is one reason that Nay is on here, because Nay is in an interracial relationship. You know, we have another guest that should be coming on before the show ends. Hopefully, if you get his link and all that. Because we wanted to make sure we had some representatives who are experiencing this, right? So we can get real loud, because I'm not in it. I don't know. Right. But we gonna talk to the people who are and get real. You know what I'm saying? So this kind of started out because me and my bros was talking about Dr. Umar. Y'all know Dr. Umar. You know what I'm saying? Snow bunnies, no snow bunnies, and all that.
Snow bunnies.
And
no snow bunnies, no snow puppies, because you know he called the guys
snow puppies. Yeah. You know, and Dr. Umar does talk about a lot of good stuff, but there are some things he's pretty extreme on, right? And all that. We ain't knocking the brother. We just want to explore all the things, right? And all that. I don't know which clip I got that. Well, I have to hit y'all with this.
One of the reasons white women like to date black males is because in the white household, the white man is king, not the woman. But if she dates a white man, a black male, she will be in control. Maybe not of the relationship, but of the outcome of it. Because one phone call, she can destroy his life, Jonathan Majors. Okay, you see? And what these black men don't understand is she's choosing you because she knows ultimate and final control rests with her, not you. You see? So when you ask about white people teaching black history, I think it's the same kind of a situation. They want to be worshipped by us because many white people have a savior complex, and so.
Let's start there.
Yeah.
Like that lady had some issues with them interracial relationships. They call her might have dipped on.
I pay attention to. She's an older lady.
Yeah.
She's an older lady and all that. And we talked a lot about the differences and disparities between, you know, the younger generations versus our generation, Gen X, and those before us, and what their thoughts was on that sort of thing based upon what their experience has been.
Right.
You know, and whether it matters, does it matter if it's white and black versus, you know, black and brown, or black and red, or, you know, like, is it the fact that it's the white folks? or not? What y'all think? Is there a difference?
I don't know, Nate. Is there a difference because you are in a interracial relationship, but your
But
husband's
not with a white
Hispanic,
person.
is not white.
Right.
So
Would it be
is there a
different?
difference?
It's. I don't think so. I don't think there's a difference, but I know that people look at it differently because people almost don't even look at us, a Latino or Spanish person with a black person as an interracial relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
a
what
lot
I'm
of
saying.
people
Like,
don't
oh,
see us
you
that.
Yeah, they don't even see it as interracial because they see us as the same.
Exactly. Right? Yeah. But if they white,
Right.
oh, sometimes that ain't all right. That's the only time, and that's the standout. You know what I'm saying? It stands out more there than it would if it was black and brown.
Okay. I can see that. But like Dr. Umar has, even though he completely against the snow buddies and all, but he also has the thing that like you shouldn't be with anybody of another race.
Right. I disagree with it. I disagree heavily
Definitely.
because who you love is who you love. Then you know what I mean? Like, and I hear what he's saying about the narrative of why white women will get with why black women will get with a white man, so on and so forth. But that's and I don't know how people thinking, but I can't see nobody saying, let me plot this out.
Right.
Get me a white man so he could be the king and all of that shit.
Right.
It sounds good. It sounds good, especially when you're putting it out there in a very aggressive Dr. Umar fashion. But I don't think people really looking at that like that. Because I watched them try to play Serena Williams. Because she was doing with the thing with Kendrick Lamar, and then they turned around and said, here she is with her white husband. I'm like, she's still black though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It don't change the black.
They're not gonna be like, man, we're gonna get Serena a pass because she married to that white man. No. She'll probably get it worse than the rest of us. So
thank you.
It doesn't change the narrative, and people not falling in love for that whole statement sounds like that white planned out thing. Right. And not all white people, just the ones that do it. But it's not planned out that way,
What about like implicit bias though? Like you might not recognize, it might not be a plot, a plan, or a scheme, right? But underneath it all, there's what of the subconscious white is right notion, right? How they've programmed us all to feel like, like we have to actually stand and say, I'm black and I'm proud, right?
Right.
Because I remember putting a towel on my head as a little girl and wanting the long blonde hair and all that kind of stuff, right? And so, and then there's another statement that he makes sometimes that underneath it all, you're internally racist, or at least have low self-worth within your black space, I'm gonna say, in order to be going to the other side, right? Like, what about that though? What if it's unconscious? What if I ain't plotting and planning and scheming, but maybe I don't feel good about being a black person? I think white people are better, and so I'm gonna go over there and holler.
They need therapy.
They actually need therapy because if you're black, how is it going to benefit you, Chanel, if you go marry John the Baker? All that is you getting it from both sides.
Right.
The white people are like, why you married that black girl?
Right.
Why you brought that nigga over here?
Yep.
And then you got us over here. Oh, now you a sellout. You couldn't find a good black man to marry. Why you had to marry him? So it's no benefit to you unless you love that man. If you don't love him, then it's no benefit. You get nothing out of it.
Out of it, right?
At least for the white guy,
Mm-hmm.
his friends gonna be like, "Ooh, you married a black girl? How is it?"
Right.
Right.
You know,
But that'll only be from his male friends, though.
Right.
You know what I mean? That his parents may or may not like it. Depends on
Right.
they.
Yeah.
Right. White women may or may not like
Right.
or may not.
Yeah, her
Right.
peer group, she'll have that one friend. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Ooh, girl, is it big? You know what I'm saying? Is it all they say it is? But
even when they do, though, even when they do, they always say it's a phase. Mm. They always figure like, oh, it's a fetish. He always wanted to be with a black girl. So now you done been with the black girl. Now she getting all your nerve. Now she doing the black shit.
That girl shit.
Yeah. And now it's time for you to leave. Come on back. We know you just wanted to get out and say you've been with a black chick, and we let you back in. But technically, we'll never let you back in because you sold us out. So it's never gonna benefit you. So it doesn't benefit black people at all unless you just in love with that.
So you really so that's proof of you being in love then, right? That you love who you love because it's not worth the trouble.
Yeah,
unless
you're willing to go through all that bullshit to be with this person, you know?
Right.
I mean, some people say because some people say, "Oh, she married him for his money." That's a lot of bullshit to go through just for a couple of dollars.
Right.
You know. Well, I mean,
you can put up with my bullshit and be okay.
Right. That's funny. What do y'all think about the notion of what do they say? Well, I date white women because they're easier, or they, y'all know what they say, like, that black women loud,
their mama
that
was their first bully. They got mama issues.
Right. So like
you need therapy, like Uncle Brian said.
That is true. A lot of white women do have mama issues. That is true.
Yeah. I mean, black women got mama issues too.
Yeah.
Or like, yeah. So that would be considered one of, again, overall, it's about love, right?
Right. Yeah.
But underneath, there are some people that's having internal racism. There are some people that have low self-worth, low self-esteem. There are some people that are looking for the come up by, dating a white person and all that kind of stuff. Or looking for an easy, non-challenging woman and all that. And so they go to that side and all that. So, so we can admit that there are some of those folks in the mix.
Definitely. Definitely. I mean, and again, that's a people thing. You know what I mean? Because I've known ladies who have dated a guy, didn't even like, and it was black. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But they dated a guy, wasn't really interested in the guy, but like he liked me. Mm-hmm. I need my rent paid. You know what I'm saying? Right. So. Yeah. There's always a element of that, and it'll happen. And of course, there's black men and women who will get with a white man because it looks good on paper. You know what I'm saying? And and vice versa for for white men. You know, it's just I just don't think that the majority of it is this planned out thing. I think the majority of it is people that's actually in love. And I'm only speaking from the fact that all I know is just regular ass people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like when he talking about Jonathan Majors, like I don't know Jonathan Majors. I feel like they fucked over. Marvel Clean fucked over him, but I don't know what that deal was. But for regular ass people, I think
makes sense. Makes sense.
Factual. Yeah.
So let me hit this one. Got a lot of Dr. Umar, y'all.
Listen, let me get to this next topic. You know, Dr. Umar, I had a lot of conversations with people about this topic, a lot of heated debates. People want to know, can you be pro-black and date outside your race?
Absolutely not.
And I got my good brother right here, who's an advocate, and he says that you can be pro-black and date outside.
Impossible. You cannot. Marriage is a business. When you get married, you commit your mind, your body, your heart, your soul, and your pocketbook, your savings, your estate, your wealth. You commit that to that person you're married to. See, when you marry, you don't marry an individual. You marry into a race. You marry into a community. So I didn't marry a Jewish woman. I married into Jewish society. I didn't marry an Asian woman. I married into an Asian family. There's no way you can claim to love black people, especially as a black man, knowing that only 1 out of every 4 black women will get married in her lifetime. We have the lowest female marriage rate in the country, 25%. That means 75% of black women will never, ever know what it feels like to be proposed to. And if you care about the black community, you got to care about saving the black family, because the family is the essential institution of a community. And the only way you can save a family is to build a family. You can only build a family with a black woman. Absolutely not. You cannot talk black and sleep white.
Can I say something? Bullshit. 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 Let me say this. Okay. He said 1 in 4 black women will never get married.
Right.
The majority of that is by choice.
Right.
The majority of that is by choice, because now all you hear black women saying, not every black woman, because I don't want all y'all coming trying to kick down my door and shit, is I don't need a man. I can do it all by myself. You're basically telling us men, black men, that you don't want us. You don't need us. You got a career. You got a degree. I got a job. I make 6 figures. I can buy my own house. I can do this. I can do that. Congratulations, you're an adult. But you basically telling me you don't need me. So you know what I'm gonna do as a man? I'm gonna go find somebody that wants me and needs me.
Give me a big booty white woman.
But just because I marry that white woman, don't mean that I'm not black. That's bullshit.
And it does not mean that you didn't desire to be with a black person.
Right.
Thank you.
I think that's the narrative
he when he talks, it's like he's saying, "Oh, you didn't even choose black." I might have chased after 50 black women, and they all might have told me, "Nigga, kick rocks."
Right.
You know, I don't want you. And then Mary Sue pulled up and was like, "Oh, Fred, you so smart. You so fuck that. Let's get married."
Right. Right. And I've heard him talk to a guy like that. He's like, "Why you didn't marry a black woman?" And he's like, "Well, I mean, I've dated black women. They haven't worked out. They haven't worked out to this extent. This one worked out. Well, why? Why? Like he was like, you basically, Dr. Umar was like, you should be on a quest, So like, if this person is good, but they're not of the right race, should I skip this person and be on my quest, right? When they got all the qualities I need.
I'm on a quest to find somebody that loves me,
right?
For me, Beyonce and Cardi B fucking up shit for me, telling broke dude I make $70,000 a year. You telling me I'm broke?
Right.
Because I don't make $250,000 a year.
Right.
So, Cardi B going home to her husband.
Right.
Beyonce, after you pay $5,000 to go to her concert, going home
to
her husband.
Literally.
It's pretty accurate.
Going home to her husband. Megan Thee Stallion going home to her man. Like all telling you to stay single.
Right. And does it match the same? Does it not match the same energy as women who are looking for a particular type? Right. And so should I skip over the short man with less salary and XYZ that don't match all these 6-figure things and all that? Am I supposed to look past that? This nice and beautiful man that's looking out for me and got my back, and all that. And so he has all the qualities I need, but because he don't match these particular things, then I'm gonna skip on him and keep on my quest. So it's the same thing as if you meet somebody that's not of, of African descent or African American descent, right? And they got everything you need, but I'm gonna skip that, and move on to my quest because that one thing don't match.
Right.
So does it have to be
100% the same? Yeah, exactly. But like I said, Umar say things and it's all over the top and flamboyant, but it's bullshit, man. It's bullshit. And because how you gonna tell me I can't be black if I marry a white woman?
Like you said, Fred, it does not change the black experience.
Right.
As a matter of fact,
exactly.
It calls attention to the black experience because now you walk around with this white person and people are, you can see it in their faces because now you're being treated like a traitor, and all that. So that increases the black awareness and the fact that you are black and discriminated against. Yeah.
Right. And that whole narrative of you don't marry a person, you marry a race. You marry the traditions of that family. You don't necessarily marry a whole damn race. You know what I'm saying? That white woman is not taking him to the meetings at Congress and the Klan meetings, the Proud Boy. I mean, you don't get to go to none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? But on the black hand side, you come to the barbecue. You know what I mean? It's not that big. You know what I'm saying? Because you got a lot of black people. A lot of black people don't engage in their cultures. A lot of white, and a lot of Jewish people don't engage in their cultures. You know what I'm saying? Young lady on Facebook from India. She's doing the walk around just for no reason with a big ass out. That's not her culture. She's doing an Americanized thing. You know what I'm saying? So people are individuals, and I think that's where he loses me at.
Right.
We're gonna fuck around and find out Dr. Umar out here messing with a white woman.
I mean, he do say he want 2 queens.
Thank you. I've heard him say he want 2 wives. Yeah, we're gonna do an emergency podcast as soon as we find that out.
Yeah, it's gonna be breaking news.
Breaking news.
Yeah, Fred, you can put that news filter on then.
Breaking news. Breaking, no bullshit news.
Yeah. Right there.
Yes.
Sell out.
All right. Here go another one about the economics. Okay.
4 points to the Snow Bunny crisis. Point number 1. Black men date white women because they need validation as men. Number 1. Number 2, black men feel black women are inferior to white women, so they date white women. And if you feel black women are inferior to white women, then you automatically admitting you feel inferior to white men. Every bunny hopper has an inferiority complex, save none. They all have. Number 3, interracial marriage is economic betrayal and sabotage because when you invest in that snow bunny, you're taking wealth.
Is it on the male side and the female side?
Both sides. But it's worse with us.
Okay.
We bunny hop way more than the sisters do. You understand? And a lot of times the sisters who do bunny hop end up bunny hopping as a consequence of the fact that we're not interested in them. I'm not excusing her. I'm just saying our behavior affects her.
There was a point the system in trouble.
But here's another thing too. Black mothers, because a lot of our boys are raised by single black mothers because of the war against the men. Black mothers are not raising their sons to be committed to black women. Black women have to take some of this.
Why is that?
Because if you're raising a son, right? It's not her fault the father's not there. But you're the only parent he has. And you're not telling him that he better bring home a black woman.
Wait.
Hold on. They need to answer this one. Bullshit.
What do you say, Nate?
Nate, this needs to be a conversation between y'all two. Okay, because he just called you out. Miss Baptiste.
Yeah.
Dang, you ain't black, man.
He's saying that your daughter married a Hispanic man because you didn't teach her
Mm-hmm.
Bring a black boy
bring home a black man.
You failed as a parent. Yeah, that's it.
That's what he's saying. That's what
You're
he's
not
saying.
even a real mama no more. You're a fake mama.
How do y'all feel about that?
How y'all feel? How you feel like that's bullshit?
Right, that shit's all stupid as shit. This shit sounds stupid as shit.
So how are you supposed to be able to break cycles without letting your children have their own mind and their own speech and how they feel about things? And,
right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, because bring a black boy home, right, could mean any black boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if I bring a black boy home that beat my ass, is that okay? If I bring a black crackhead boy home.
At least he black.
Is it? But
At least he black. At least he black.
For me, that's the same mentality as women who are like, just get a man.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I don't care if he's somebody else's man. I don't care if he's a part-time man.
Do we have a date?
Yes, still a man, no. Right. And so, yeah, I'm teaching my children to look for character.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to look for integrity. Right. And I don't give a damn what color he is. Right. And all that. And I don't prefer to date white people personally. Right. But
neither do I.
Hola, mami.
And let me tell you something about Drew, though. And you talking about like marrying a culture, though?
Mm-hmm.
Because he a black Mexican. Because that's my son, baby. He loved the culture so much when he figured out something new. When because he been doing a deep dive in his own culture, right? Mm-hmm. And so he pretty much was raised as if he was white and stuff. Yeah, crazy. And so he didn't know he was Mexican, and
so he didn't even know his own culture.
Yeah, he didn't even know his own culture, right? And that part is what I would call like hatred of yourself or your own.
Yes,
right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because his mama is like, why would you teach that to your kids? Mm-hmm. Knowing you should be having the talk with them like we have the talk with our black children, right? That's okay when you get pulled over. You know, this what you do. When you're walking down the street, somebody approach you, this what you do, and all that. And so this kid like had no clue about the culture, right? And so as he's learning his own culture and he sees us take pride in our culture and all that, he would be like, I just love black people, you know. And he's saying so much sometimes he's like, stop. Because it's getting cringy. It's like it's almost feeling racist. It's not racist, but it's feeling like I just love black people. And all that. Like, and sometimes I watch Nate pass him by and he just look at her with all this reverence, right? And all that. And it's not just because she's beautiful. It's not just because she is who she is. It's like, that's a black woman right there. Mm-hmm. My black woman.
Looking at her like that's my black woman.
Yes, exactly.
My black woman home. Move out to us.
And it's cool to watch, which is another discussion, right? Because somebody mentioned the marrying of the culture, right?
Right.
And stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I think that is partially true to me, though. I understand where you're coming from, B. But there is a marriage of the culture, right?
Okay. Yeah. Fact.
He has to integrate himself into our culture to understand it, right? Mm-hmm. And all that. Which is why every time he's coming up with real live black history, he comes, my mama, did you know? Yes, son, I know.
Right. So, but that's what I'm saying. I was like, it depends on your household.
Right.
You got some black, I know plenty of black households, they just people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just people. So they not necessarily black, not necessarily white.
Right.
They ain't pro or against nothing. They're just people. So
they're just people,
it depends on
and of course, like we are a pro-black, like power to the people household, right? Mm-hmm. And all that. And so anybody that doesn't fit in that usually feels uncomfortable, right? Because
you got to go.
I'm gonna be black all day, all night. You know, at work, at home, don't matter where I'm at, I'm gonna be black, right? and everybody is not always comfortable with that. And so it does drive some people away. It does make people so uncomfortable. Like, should I come over? If you gotta think, if you gotta ask that question, then you should.
Question, then no, stay home.
Always so deep.
Yeah, and they get that a lot from people. Like, is it that deep?
Yeah, because I'm black all day, every motherfucking day. Like, yes, it is always that deep.
Yeah, it's always that deep. Okay.
Right. And not understanding that, like, and a lot of folks we've been encountering it's because of the experience, of course, the lived experience, that they don't understand our lived experience. And so for them, it's not that deep. Right. But it is that deep when I walk in the grocery store and I don't know what people staring at my hair because they hate it or they love it or they love to hate it or they hate to love it. Like, you know, and stuff like that. And some people can smile and nod, and some people can give me a compliment, and other people have to have the scowl on their face. Right.
Right. They can't control it.
Right. Because they can't control it. Right. Or when you go into a grocery store and what that lady did that day, she looked for everybody to clear the aisle for her. She just
oh my god, that shit was so irritating.
She did what?
The aisle was crowded, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lots of people, and plus the people that's doing the shopping for the people and all that. Right. So everybody trying to navigate their way through and all that. I'm in my little rolly cart and all that, and she just stood there
with her white privilege and just stood there and said, and just was just.
Well, God.
Just waiting. And so they and Greg both
was starting to get frustrated.
Right.
Yeah.
And then she said, and so they made the joke, and it was like she stood there like, no one's gonna clear the
path for me.
Because that's how she was standing there.
You wanted rose petals and shit.
Exactly.
Hey, come and tell America.
She couldn't even utter the words, excuse me.
Right.
And that'd be my issue, especially culturally, because I do see a huge privileged thing where people will be in the grocery store and they will just stand behind you rather than saying excuse me.
Yeah, and I never experienced that out up here to Virginia, and they do it a lot.
They do it a lot down
here. Is that you see me and move, right?
Yeah,
that is implicit bias. That is that's slavery mindset.
Yeah,
that's I expect you to move because I am here. I am white. I am.
Yeah, you see me.
I was like, you see me.
See my white ass standing here. Get the hell out of the way.
Right. You know.
Keep on keeping on what I'm doing too.
Right.
For real.
I just keep on what I'm doing too.
Yeah, I don't.
I will be like, hey, I need to get right there. I need that hot sauce.
Look, my little sister got anxiety, so at some point they'll be like, "Oh, Nay, move over." I swear to God, I will stand there.
Yeah.
Well, just say excuse me.
Right, and that's all it is. Because I mean,
that's all you gotta do.
And I would be reaching for something. Excuse me, bro. Let me grab that.
Excuse me, yeah.
And that's it. Yeah.
When I walk in front of people, excuse me, sorry, but like.
Well, we from the South, the real South.
Yeah.
They call this shit
like the real South.
Like this ain't the South.
Virginia.
They call Virginia the South.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
It's like in the middle.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, this shit ain't the South.
It ain't even. It's like northeast.
Yeah, it's like
right.
It's where the South starts.
I'm like, I said, you closer to New York than you are to New Orleans. You can't be the South, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. That's something else.
I found it.
But you know what? I'm thinking about what Omar was just saying. I guess I'm a failure too as a parent. Because I never taught my children that you should just walk. Don't walk through the door with no white.
To see color.
Don't walk through this door.
To see color.
Like
you never taught them to see color.
No, I was always look. I don't care who you marry or who you date, as long as you happy and they ain't fucking over you.
Right.
Because my son has never dated. I told you, Chanel, that day we was talking. He had to remind me that he's actually dated a black girl once in his life. Every girl that he's ever dated has been Hispanic, and he can't speak a lick of Spanish, so I'm so ashamed of him. And my other son, he's been married to his wife, who's white, for like 6-7 years. They got 2 kids together.
Mm-hmm.
And they like a super cute couple.
Right.
But
before my sons,
Yeah.
white wives, white significant others, and it's for real. I'm still black, Dr. Umar. And they still black too.
Right.
But I literally I taught my kids their history, their culture, about their family, and our connections to our culture and our history. But who you love is just who you love. But what I noticed is my 16-year Jaden, he said I would date a black girl if the black girls in my environment weren't so ignorant. You see what I'm saying? So, and I mean, he's 16. So, of course, they're acting 16.
Yeah, 16.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But to some people, like, that shit is a turn off. Everybody, and it's one thing when you at a party, you act like you at a party.
Right.
Been for over 30 years. I know how people act at a party and when the party is over.
Right.
But you don't need to act like that all the time. You don't need to pretend like this is you constantly. You know what I'm saying?
And it's got to be exhausting, yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So it's a push. It's a push. And I think what a lot of black women are doing today, especially on that goddamn internet, I love the internet, not a big fan of social media, which is odd because currently on social media.
That's what we're doing.
but that those negative narratives, and I ain't gonna go into that because that's a whole nother show. But it's those narratives, because you can't say I don't need a man and then feel some kind of way when that black man is with that white woman, because I have yet to see a white woman make a whole 45-minute long podcast about how she don't need a man. And I'm not saying that they don't do it, but I'm saying it's damn for sure not as popular as the black ones.
Right, that's true. That's very, very true. And we already know that that's what they're gonna show anyway. Even if they were doing it as much, they're not gonna show it as much because they have to paint us in a certain light and all that.
Right.
I, as a woman, as a black woman, like every time I get on somebody's podcast or every time I talk about it, like I hold women accountable and all that, because you're right. Like, there's a difference in I don't need a man yet. But do you want one though? Because in essence, again, I can put my own trash out. I can do quote unquote man stuff and all that. And
I don't want to.
But I don't want to.
Right.
Why would you want to? Right. And all that. And I'm sure I stayed married for longer than I should have because I didn't want to do this by myself. Right. But then when I realized I was still doing it by myself when in prison, I was like, well, I might as well go and do it by myself, right? And stuff. But that's a conscious choice I had to make, based upon my circumstances or whatever. But it definitely wasn't because I don't need nobody. Because I know how to change a light bulb, but like if Nay taller than me and she can reach it, then I'm gonna ask Nay. You know what I'm saying? And Nay is definitely taller than me. Everybody is.
You better be glad my husband not taller than me.
Guess what? If he was, then he would be doing it.
He'd be changing that light bulb.
Right. So
Drew, get up there and change that light bulb.
Take care of your business. And anything that he can do, like I don't put water on the water thing. Like Drew.
He be on top of that.
Yeah, we don't mow grass, like all the things that traditionally men do. I'm not mad about that at all, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm a very independent, self-made,
for sure,
like, all that, right? So I'm CEOing out here. We're doing the damn thing.
We're doing it.
However, that doesn't make me want to do certain, you know what I'm saying? And at the same time, I would like for my man to cook for me as well. Not all the time. There's an exchange.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
My wife don't cook all the time. I enjoy cooking. She don't take it. My wife has never taken out trash.
And she's been after
23 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because that's my job.
Thank you. That's how you take care of it.
If stuff need to get fixed around here, I'll fix it. Or if I can't fix it, I go find somebody that can fix it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
My wife wash clothes, but I wash clothes too.
Right.
We split the duties around here, but some stuff is my stuff.
Exactly.
That I do.
Right.
He's great. My wife can book a trip around the world in 3 hours.
See?
That's her thing.
Not your damn though,
That's what she do.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I can do finances, but she's better at finances than I am. So that's her thing. She's that. Let me know what you need. Here you go.
Right.
Ta-da. That's it.
Exactly.
When
And
the
that's gonna
kids
be
was
good
in the
discussion.
house. Yeah, when the kids was in the house.
50-50 one. We're gonna talk 50-50. That's gonna be a good discussion for that too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
but Dr. I am black, bro. I hear what you're saying, but yeah, if I ever meet you in person, I'm definitely gonna tell you I'm black, and you're not gonna argue me off that hill. you can say what you want. I will be like, yeah, I hear you, but I'm still black.
But I'm still black. So, do you think? What do you think about the idea of feeling inferior? Like black people feeling inferior, and that white people that they're inferior to white people, and therefore white women are inferior to black women. And so I'm trying to validate myself by being with this white person.
I think that's a real thing. I think it's a real thing. And it depends on.
It shouldn't be in 2025.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like it depends on your age and
we don't know
your
who
experience.
We are yet.
And
we don't know who we are yet.
Well, we definitely know who we are, but I do remember in my early 20s, I had a DJ party, and it was in this neighborhood, and it wasn't even a conscious thought; it was just a natural thought process. I was like, "Oh man, this must be a nice neighborhood. Look at all these white folks."
Yeah,
it's just automatic.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So it wasn't a thing. Like I didn't feel like I was less,
right?
But I know that the narrative is they shit is better taken care of than ours. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think for some people they do have that. They do have that because I know one dude right now. But I want to say his name so bad because I can't.
Don't do it.
Even though he's not with a with a white woman or anything like that, but he would be. You know what I mean? Like he would be because he has that. They're better mentality.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah. How you fix that?
Call Dr. Umar. Let Dr. Umar talk to her.
But, I don't know. It's kind of like what Ned said though. You kind of gotta figure out who you are.
Yeah.
Because I do know some people that if you talk to them, it would just feel like they just straight up 100% hate black women. Okay. All the way across the board. Mm-hmm. Like they never have one, not just black women, like black people. Period. They kind of remind me of what's her face. Y'all know who I'm talking.
Candace.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's a whole nother show. But but I just but like that particular gentleman, he just needs to sit down and figure out who he is, where he stand. Like,
it's difficult because people who see things that way, they believe that shit.
Like, right. People's perspective is their reality.
Yeah, they don't feel like it's a sellout thing. They don't feel like they 100% just don't feel like it's wrong. Right. They feel like it's right. And it's a little heartbreaking when a black person say to you, "Well, what about black on black crime?" And I'm like, "Nigga, there's no such thing as black on black crime. It's just fucking crime." You know what I'm saying? So, but they've completely bought into
the narrative.
Bought into that narrative, and they black. Which is, and that's the thing that I can't never wrap my head around. It's like when adults say, "I hate kids." Like, bitch,
but you used to be a kid.
Yeah, you know you was a goddamn kid at one time. So it's like that, and it's hard. I'm pretty sure that's a difficult one to figure. Like you'd have to really
it is hard.
Yeah, the thing, and I'm glad you said that I hate kids thing because therapeutically. So we're going back to therapy and mental health stuff, right, and all that. So to have that hatred for black people dismisses yourself and thus leads to like I need validation or I feel inferior, I don't like myself, and so that's a self-worth issue, right? And all that. Same thing for a person who's an adult that says I hate kids. Your inner child is still tripping. Like
exactly,
you know, your childhood was so horrible, you hated being a kid, and so now you hate kids. Right,
right.
So
because ain't no kids out here doing nothing to your ass.
Right, they not. They just being fucking kids.
Marvin Gaye says, "Save the babies, save all of the children,
all the children." You know, and I remember that for myself. I did not fuck with kids between 8 and 13. But that I realized going back, that was my hardest time in childhood.
Right.
You know, so I ain't want to mess with them because my inner child was pissed about it. Like, you know, so you got to address the things as they come. What about white folks that are white savior out here? Because they got white saviors out here, people.
Oh, they everywhere.
They out there with. They're well. Yeah. Sometimes they in the house.
Well, you know, in Hollywood, the white savior is everywhere and consistent. Goddamn, boy. Well, with my man Blade had whatever his name is, dude. You know what I mean? They took care of him. You know, and made sure he was straight. The best example of the white savior scenario would be the Green Mile. That is, you took the biggest black man you could find and made him that small. Yeah, made him that damn small, and then you put a lovable white man, Tom Hanks.
We love Tom
in play, to make sure he's okay and make sure he's all right. But in real life, yeah, they always there. But it's unavoidable because they're gonna take that credit whether they actually did the shit or not. Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's you could do all the work. They gonna put their name on the package though.
So that is that something that like black folks in as far as relationships need to be aware of? Because
they definitely
you love who you love, but you need to make sure that who you love really love you, or are they trying to save you from something?
But that's difficult because you'll never know. You'll never know till you find out. You won't know till you find out, and that's in any relationship. Yep. She'll be going smooth. You find out she been on Bourbon Street in Decatur her whole life. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, that's your lady. You know your lady hoe, right? No. I tell you this, and this is a true story. When I was DJing at CC, some dude came there with his boys to enjoy some booty shaking and saw his old lady on the stage. You know what I'm saying? So and she wasn't new. Well, maybe he was new, but she wasn't. It's you find out when you find out. But like I said, that's difficult.
My manager at work is a white savior.
Okay,
he is like he says he does whatever he can from us. Okay, because he's the only white manager on an all black crew.
Oh, dang, y'all still got DEI? Y'all still got the DEI? Y'all got one white person.
One white person.
One white person.
That's too many blacks.
And he'll give us like a little bit, like he'll give us shout outs and stuff. So like the rest of the office be like, oh wow, they're really doing stuff. Jeez. But then when the big it's this Friday, when the big meeting came, oh, we ain't getting no love. Samir and all these other people that's in the higher ranking spots than we are got the props and the love and they're doing such a great job. And I'm like, we the ones in here calling these people off of spreadsheets.
Right. But that's the thing. The CEO is going to get the money. The actual worker's going to get pizza. Pizza,
baby. I got to pay us some pizza.
We don't even get pizza on it, dog.
We get high quality pizza, boy.
What kind of pizza y'all get, though?
It's a local spot.
They be the best. Oh, God.
Yeah, local spot. It's
a spot opened up around here. We was like, we getting pizza from here, from our own.
Yeah.
Local people know what they're doing. All right. So, in fact, is love colorblind then.
Hell.
Okay, break it down then. Why is not colorblind?
Because we all know what being colorblind means backhandedly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a fuck how much white people try to make it sound like a compliment or like, they're just this stellar ass human. One, nobody's gonna congratulate you for being a good human. And seeing me as
I'm
the
gonna use
human
that shit.
I know, I like
Like-
that. I like that.
that's not, yeah. And I just been hearing that from white people a lot is that, that I'm colorblind or that, my mother taught me not to see color. Congratulations. But
Right.
when you don't see color, you don't see me. So
Right.
I don't know how that's gonna be a relationship that continue going. So
Mm-hmm.
there's no way in hell that love could be colorblind.
Dang. I don't really have a response for that.
Look at that. That's my baby. Okay.
She's right. You can't see
I'm
me
intimidated.
You intimidate on the girl.
She's right. You can't see me. You can't see me and say, "Oh, that's not a black man. That's just Fred." Bullshit.
Right.
I'm Fred the black man.
Fred the black man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But that is that's a huge part of who we are, right? And it's a huge part of our experiences and our parents' experience and our grandparents' experience, and take it on back, right?
Right.
And all that. And so it's not, it's not just the skin color, right? It's the culture, it's the DNA, it's the mitochondria. Like it's
right.
It's in the roots, right? And all that. And so there's so much of us and there's so much of that make up who we are as a people, right? That we are significantly different. And I'm looking at even the now times. We are so significant in our differences in even thinking, right? Because the first time I heard somebody say the colorblind thing, I was at a conference in Minnesota. And this Minnesotan woman, Minnesota, don't you know? She like approached me and was like, I'm trying to figure out like how to help my friend who is black. She won't let me help her. And I said, you are not a safe space for her. That's why she won't let you help her. Right. And so I start breaking down, the black experiences, et cetera, et cetera. I said, you are a very, very white woman. Right. And while she can appreciate your help, there are certain things you can help her with because you don't understand the experience that she's having. Right.
Right.
And all that. And she busted out I don't see color. And I looked her in the eyeballs and I said, don't ever, don't ever say that again. Ever. This is why. And I went on with the same thing. Like being a black woman is a part of my identity. It is a part of it's not the whole of me, but it's a huge part, right? Because it dictates how I live every single day, right? Because you can have a white girl that look exactly like me if you want to, and all that, and me walking beside her, and all other things being equal, I'm black and she white, but our experience in those situations are going to be different experiences. So her reality is different than mine, right?
That's
right.
Go ahead.
Sorry, that was to say that was my issue. With one of my, I struggle to call her friend, but
person
associates.
But one of my associates, I had invited her over the other day, and we were just chilling in the garage, and we were talking, and she starts off the conversation very already teeter-tottering on very dangerous waters. But she's always been the type of person or the type of white girl that tries to relate her struggle growing up poor as a white girl in a Mexican community to me growing up black. And that's like when I say that's like her main comparison all the time. It's just that. And when she came over, we wound up getting into it because she was the very person that told me, why does it always have to get deep every time that we're together? It feels like you always have this wall up when I'm with you. I said, oh, baby girl, you're white. I'm going to continue to have that wall up. I said, there's only one white person that I don't have a wall up with, And I was like, and that's just because that's my soul tie. I just feel it. That's a black woman. She not white. Like, but just trying to get her to understand she couldn't take herself out of her privilege enough to even get where I was coming from. And multiple times in the conversation, she kept just trying to say, you know, because my mother raised me not to see color, and man, I've dealt with racism. I grew up in a Mexican neighborhood, and I was the only white girl, and it was just too much of you don't see me, and that's how I know that your mama taught you not to see color, bitch, because you're not looking at me.
Right.
So like, you're just talking, thinking we just human.
So she experienced Mexican racism because she was the only white girl in a Mexican neighborhood. Did she ever stop to think why they treated her like they treated her?
Yeah. Right. And I think that's the issue that I have too with the whole reverse racism thing or whatever. And again, I'm going to continue to educate as much as possible that racism has nothing to do with skin color. It has to do with power, right? Power, control, and the ability to disenfranchise somebody else and all that because of the skin color, right? And so in that situation, maybe they could have been racist, right? Because they populate the area, she's the minority, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe they had economic power in that area or whatever, right? And all that. So that could have very well been and all that. However, the why is important. Like, why do they look at you that way? Why did they?
It could have been you, like with Nate, you trying to relate to my struggle. She may have been trying to relate to their struggle. Like, I can't relate to Mexican American struggle. I didn't have to sneak over here like some of their people did in the middle. I had the privilege to be born in America.
Come on. Thank you. Thank you.
I didn't have to fight for my citizenship. I had the privilege to be born here, and I'm 100% totally aware of that. I had Mexican friends, and I used to tell them, like, bro, I could never understand what your great grandparents went through to get here because mine didn't have to do that. They had to deal with a bunch of other shit.
Right. Our shit was different. Right.
So let me know what you went through. I'll let you know what my people went through, and we're not going to compare the two and try and make them equal. I think white people try to make the struggle equal. See, we're all the same. I was poor. Okay. You were poor. I was poor. My poor might have been different from your poor.
Right.
You know, my poor was sitting in the house at lights with no water and no gas, with an ice chest with bologna and water in it. Talking. I don't even remember what the hell we used to talk about. My poor was running the extension cord from my neighbor's house to get electricity.
Thank you. I happen to get your homework done before the sun went down. Hard if it wasn't daylight savings time.
Yeah, I try to keep that mentality even when the lights are on, because I realized how fast I got that shit done.
Yeah, you know, my struggle was coming on, looking at the porch. If the porch light was still on, you still had electricity. If it wasn't, I had
but when we knew it was coming, we would do it on purpose. Like we would intentionally leave the porch light on all day.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was your indicator before you walked in.
Yeah, so you wasn't shocked because we already knew the routine if the light was on.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
You know, and it teach you certain skills, because Nate even thanked me. She was like, Mom, I just thank you for getting us out of the hood, and thank you for breaking the cycle. And even though we did not experience water getting cut off, you did teach us what we should do in case water got cut off. Right?
Yeah.
When I thought something was impending when we was in New Orleans, I was like, okay, every container that will hold water, you need to fill those things up. Fill up the tub. Fill up that big pot on the stove. You know.
I just got a big ass pair of vice grips and cut the fucking water back on.
That's it. Yeah. You know how to do that.
Run that shit all night, cut it back off.
Cut it back on.
8 o'clock in the morning.
Exactly.
Wait, there's statute of limitations on that shit, right?
They got to prove where you live there and everything.
Find this nigga.
Half the places we used to live don't even exist.
Yeah, for real.
For real. So the water boy going through a whole bunch of other shit right now. I don't think they worried about us from like 40 years ago.
Right. Yeah. You know.
But I just want to say this though, right quick, on the subject of that whole I don't see color thing. That is an issue, and it is an insulting statement. And I don't even think initially white people were saying it to be insulting. I thought they wasn't. But
they want to make the playing field equal, like we said.
Right. The mistake they made was trying to say, I understand what you went through. No, you don't, because what you don't, but what they and that comes back to accountability. They never take accountability, because what they don't understand is we still going through that same shit today. Yeah. So you can't say you don't see color, because I'm watching the way
y'all just can't beat us up anymore without getting your ass beat.
Right. I mean, you know what?
We fight back now.
That's for another show. They were getting their ass beat. That's just the history that you're not hearing about. People think the Civil War was the first time black people was fighting in a war. There was a bunch of wars before the Civil War. Yeah. A lot of people think black people just jumped up and knew how to shoot guns. No. There were other wars. Yeah. We've been fighting for that shit.
And that's true. They don't talk about our place in those things.
Exactly. So you know what I'm saying? We get the highlights. And again, that goes back to the white savior thing. Because when they talk about the Civil War, they talk about Abraham Lincoln, but Abraham Lincoln didn't give a fuck if we was free or not. He just needed people to fight a fucking war.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I get what they was trying to do with that statement, but the mistake they made was trying to make it equal. Right. And then that shit just it don't fly. You know what I'm saying?
And that leads me even to your comment about war. Like we've been fighting.
Right.
Been. So much so, and they understood that fight so much is that's in 1705. I wrote some stuff down. 1705, the Virginia legislature, the landowners decided they could not afford another rebellion, and they decided to divide the poor by separating the races. So this ain't never this is not all. This has been a thing from back then. You used to be able to get married and be together interracially, and then they decided, you know what? We need to break the alliance among the poor, right? Because if y'all getting married and y'all all getting together and all that, y'all will realize that y'all have more strength. And so they had to separate us out. And that's when we started fighting amongst each other as well, right? Which again is
still to this day. Still to this day, yep.
And that's the goal. The goal was to I can't let y'all rise up. If y'all realize how much power you have, if you get together, then y'all gonna revolt. Y'all gonna get us, right?
I know, and it's crazy. How many ways can we separate y'all? For real, right? Exactly. Yeah, because America is the only country where you could look Japanese, Chinese, Jamaican, Haitian, new from a whole nother fucking planet and be an American citizen.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
the only fucking place, and they don't get it because that's the shit that makes America great. Not that whatever that bullshit is, and I know what they're trying to do. Lord Jesus, that's enough. I'm gonna do a little more research on that, but that's enough.
Okay, you do your research because I want to get all the things that you think. You know. So what kind of and I don't know if y'all talk to y'all kids about this, and I'll talk to them. We'll mention like Nate too. What kind of mental health challenges do you think comes with interracial dating?
Esteem, and insecurity. Not insecurity in the relationship so much, but just that insecure feeling because my son, his wife, and then my two grandkids, they were at and I could be wrong, I believe they was at a doctor's appointment. And this older white couple walked up to him and his wife, and they was like, "Oh, those some beautiful babies, some beautiful babies." And the wife right in front of my son said, "But couldn't you have found a nice white man to marry?" And he
said it out loud to their face.
Yeah.
They didn't keep that
exactly. Said it like it was 100% okay to say this. You know what I'm saying? And the lady had to been late 60s. He was assuming late 60s. He wanted to knock the shit out the lady, and then it fucked with him for a long, long, long time. And there was another incident. I was there for that one. It was, we all went to the skating ring. Me, him, his wife, kids, and everybody else. And then we went to Pizza Hut afterwards. And it was this white couple, older white couple, kept looking at him and his wife and my grandkids. Kept looking. And then I was like, I said, hey, can I help y'all? And it was like, oh, no. You should have some beautiful kids. And why you only focused on them two kids? There was a bunch of kids at that table. You see what I'm saying? So, and it was making him uneasy. And he's not he's not the gun type. Okay. But then he was. You know what I'm saying? So he felt like, am I in danger? And it was fucking with him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it definitely can fuck with your mental,
Mm-hmm. Nate, what you say?
Yeah, I hadn't. Go ahead, Nate. Go.
Me and Drew don't really give a fuck.
That was smooth how you did that, though.
I thought you was about to go into this deep.
I know.
Thing that like traumatized y'all. Y'all didn't even want to come home.
Okay, so the biggest thing that me and Drew have had to deal with is his very racist mother. Mm-hmm. So that's like, and everybody in this family swear to God that she not racist. Want to know why? Because they got black people in their family. So, but yeah, and it's not the type of she don't like black people and she wants him to be with another Mexican. It's the type of she doesn't like herself nor black people, so she wants him to be with a white woman. So
you just messed the whole program up. you just screwed up everything.
That's probably the biggest issue that we've dealt with, that we gave a fuck about. Like, because any other opinion that wasn't family related when it came to dating outside of our race, I've just never cared about. I'm gonna date who I want.
Like, I mean, at the end of the day, you have to give up your fucks.
Yeah,
right.
In order to live life like you like the living.
Yeah. I've always envied how people in you guys' age range don't have many fucks to give. So I've made it a life goal to not give any by the time I'm 30.
We raised ourselves. We ain't got time to give a fuck.
Right.
Our mama didn't give a fuck.
So it's not that we don't get the looks. It's not that we don't get the stares and shit like that, because we get them everywhere we go. Not from really white people per se, because like I said, they usually just see us as brown and brown. But for sure, like I'll see it increase a little bit more when we go back home, to New Orleans, where we tend to get the stares from black men or black women. So yeah, or I'll get stares from like majority of them come from Hispanic grandmas. That's where most of my stares come from. That's where most of the dirty looks.
Right.
The abuelas are looking at me. Yeah. And they're like, so.
And it's always the older crowd. It's always the older crowd with the most feelings. Yeah.
So I can't speak for Desmond because we hadn't really had a chance to talk about that. But I know with Lil Fred, because he's married to a Hispanic girl, his brother-in-law does not like, he says the whole family don't like him because his wife used to date another black guy before him. And he calls me all the time. So he was asking me, how to deal with it. And I'm like, look, you don't want to disrespect them, but in the same breath, don't let them disrespect you in your house. Right. That's your house. You the man in your house. So stand on business. So he ended up asking the brother, bro, you come to my house all the time. You don't speak to me. You You don't do nothing. What's up?
Hey, hell no. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Nah, sorry, baby. Your brother can't come over.
Right. Exactly.
So the dude said, well, I don't like you because you're not one of us. So Fred said, so I was kind of just like, okay. And then he said, he told his wife, look, if your brother can't speak to me, like he got to the point to really like, well, I don't care because I'm the type of like, I don't care if you don't like me.
Right.
I wasn't put on this planet for you to like me. Only the people I love are the only people I worry about that's gonna like me or not.
Right.
But if he can't speak, he told her, if he can't respect me in my house, he can't come to my house. Now, I don't know what happened with that. I haven't heard any more stories, so I'm assuming either the dude started
respecting them or stayed the fuck away.
And he said that about the whole family because I'm like, okay, don't just let them disrespect you like that. At the end of the day, you're my son.
Right.
You know how we are. Don't let them, especially they're not talking to you because you black.
Right. If you did on something, I see it. But like, because you black, just because you're not one of them. Yeah.
That you taking care of their daughter, her kids, that's not yours, but they're yours now because y'all married. So, because we don't treat our step kids no different than we treat our regular kids.
Yeah, ours. All of them.
I'm paying for your ass, you're mine.
You're mine.
But no. I'm like, you ain't gotta love them, but don't let them disrespect you. Now, like I said, I haven't heard he hadn't been calling me about that, so I'm assuming he got that straightened out. But yeah, it's real like that. Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're gonna take a mini break and do a little choosing empowerment. Let y'all know about choosing empowerment because that is who is sponsoring this podcast. All right.
Hey, Cycle Breakers. I'm Chanel Baptiste, your favorite no bullshit therapist and mental wealth coach, and founder of Choosing Empowerment. As barrier breakers, our core values are founded in the power of choice and the power of healthy relationships. We are dedicated to our mission to provide access to mental health services for marginalized and disenfranchised communities. Our primary communities that we serve are Black, people of color, foster and adoptive, LGBTQIA, and formerly incarcerated communities. We fully understand the internal and external barriers facing our communities that prevent them from seeking care. We realize that one of our greatest assets and tools is connection. Therefore, we connect to our communities by letting them know that we see them, we hear them, we understand them, because we are them. We seek to educate and inform so that our communities are aware that it's okay not to be okay. But here at the Cycle Breaker Village, it's a safe place for healing, so you don't have to stay that way. If you're interested in learning more, feel free to reach out to us at nobs@choosingempowerment.com. We break barriers so you can break cycles.
And that was
You had your turtleneck on. Isn't that looking like Bill Scott?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And speaking of which, I want to give a shout out to Nay, who is the founder of Essence of Serenity, who just got her LLC. Yes. And here's another member of our family who's a business owner as well, Custom Creations.
Them custom creations better get you some.
Let me show y'all something.
That's great. Yeah, we out the car. That's right. Don't eat the pizza.
Don't eat the pizza. Stay away.
Don't eat the pizza.
Because Fred was supposed to be on top of the comments. But
yeah, I saw that. I'm sorry, man.
This bracelet right here was made by Custom Creations. It's so pretty.
Hey, I need a bracelet.
I'm about to order me another one. And all that. This guy like them. This guy,
man.
I think I want to order
tight and magnets and all that, and copper and all that. What is that?
I said I think I'm gonna order me and Drew like matching bracelets for the ceremony.
Yeah.
I need to order me and my wife some bracelets. Give my
we need to order some bracelets. So if anybody else out there looking for some bracelets,
right,
you just let us know because we're gonna hook you with the right people. Okay. All right.
So Nate, tell us about Essence of Serenity.
I am a traveling esthetician. I'm working on getting on my lashes because it's always been my biggest goal. But I offer waxes, I offer different facials, and I offer like different add-ons, different facial treatments that you can add on to your facials. Most of my facials start at like $140. And right now we're just getting everything set up to try to get opened by the spring. So yeah, really big on the holistic care and very natural, and I want to make it known that I'm for us, by us, and while I don't discriminate, a lot of my business is focusing on the skincare of Black women and Black men because we don't get focused on a lot. I sat through 6 months of school where Fitzpatrick 5 and 6 were only talked about when it came to how much we are naturally protected by the sun, from the sun. So it was very much depressing that it's still in 2024, 2025, there was still very little to none in that curriculum that was dedicated towards the fact that we have very different skin. We have very different skin issues and skin concerns and stuff like that. Us Black people, we're not looking on how to stay looking younger. Black don't crack. So like let's get into like hyperpigmentation because that's what my sisters are really worried about. Like we're not worried about the fine lines and all the other shit. So yeah, I'm about my people. I'm about, feeling good from the outside in. I'm big on the mental health and the spiritual aligning. Yeah, I'm ready to really, this is bigger than just making you look pretty on the outside.
Okay.
Well, goddamn, that ought to be your slogan. This is bigger than making you look pretty on the outside.
Hallelujah.
I'm offering
that's my baby. That's all I'm gonna say. That's my baby. Hallelujah. Yep. When she first came up with it, she was like, Mama, you help people feel better from the inside out. I want to help people be better from the outside in because sometimes it do work the opposite way. I was like, you're right, because you put on some makeup and all that. You looking fly.
Don't get me wrong, I started developing some self-confidence before I got into the makeup game.
Yeah.
But when I started doing my makeup and really learning how to beat my face, and that was able to show me that I was creative because my father kind of instilled in me that, and not on purpose, but very much instilled in me that I was meant to be nothing but a singer. So I thought that was the only creative that I had. Like I was like, I can sing. That's it. So it allowed me to figure out that I was creative in more areas. It allowed me to be artistic and shit like that. So I keep forgetting that we can cuss on here. I keep forgetting who my mama is. But yeah, I just realized that it did help me with my confidence. Like I naturally started to when I would look in the mirror and go, girl, you look good. And then when I started taking off the makeup at night, I started consciously saying to myself, girl, you look good even while you're taking off this shit. Like I made sure that I wasn't depending on the makeup, but at the same time, I was still it still was contributing to how I was seeing myself. I was seeing myself how my mama sees me without the makeup all the time. So if I can get people to see themselves the way that the outside world views you, if I can get you to smile when you look at yourself in the mirror,
yeah,
my job's gonna be done.
Yep. Look at that. You got to love you and all the beautiful things about you.
Come on now. Every bit. So that's my baby. We're gonna keep working on her business stuff and all that good stuff. Because and we did Essence of Serenity on purpose because she wants people to feel totally peaceful when they walk away from her You know, you should be at peace when you walk.
It's a new high, and I like to indulge myself.
Right.
But it's a different high to like feel this level of peace. I walk around as a pretty angry ass kid, like so, and pretty much
yes, you were.
As an angry ass adult too. Like I just recently, probably like 2 years ago, started like really protecting my peace. And when that happened, I was like, oh yeah, we gotta get other people to this area because this is how I don't give fucks. Like, because I got
and it's all right. It's an awesome feeling.
It is. It is. And I tell people when you reach the peaceful stage, in your growth and development, you will protect it at all costs. Like you will drop people, things.
I'm not talking to him.
Yeah.
Right.
But you did unblock him, so that was
I did a lot of growth, but again, that's another episode.
Okay, so we got that.
Here's some funny interracial stuff that I found.
Oh, look, it's a black squirrel. I don't see there's very often, but for some reason there's a lot in Detroit.
Oh, that's because there's a lot
of
the white population of squirrels so high here. See, black squirrels naturally love the white squirrel population.
Lover, please.
Because they trying to get nuts.
Squirrels
Squirrels don't like to get nuts. I tell you that much. See, I used to be a black squirrel myself.
Monkey see, monkey do, huh? You ever heard that? Please don't go there. Please don't go there. Please don't go there. Just let me live. Let me live. Sometimes humans imitate humans.
No, that's racism.
And humans are like monkeys because we were apes or something, but there's actually a difference between monkeys and apes that has nothing to do with that. Let me live. It's just the same.
Dr. Umar is going to pop up like the boogeyman when you do that. You know, gentlemen, perhaps in do-rags, wife beaters, and sweats. A pack of
people.
No, that'd be a group of people. A congregation of
guys.
It's like double G A with an S at the end. A smack of
guys.
A rampage of
nice guys. What you want for lunch right now? I feel like chicken sounds good to me. You want some chicken, Bubba?
Don't want some chicken? Don't want some chicken? Oh, I want some chicken, some watermelon. Maybe I have some collard greens. Maybe I have all those together too.
I just said chicken because I thought chicken sounded good. That's not what I'm saying. Let me live,
I just
bro.
want a bucket of mosquito ankles.
Let me live.
Is what I want. Give me.
I just thought that was hilarious.
Yup.
She said, "Let me live." Oh Lord, I can't say nothing.
But that right there, that shows it. You know, it's because it's acknowledgement. You know what I mean? And they're gonna be those kind of complications. You know what I'm saying? Like if I was in an interracial relationship, I think at some point I would call my white wife a cracker. You know what I mean? Just for fun. You know what I'm saying? Sit down with your cracker ass. I asked my daughter-in-law, I said, man, you ever call my son a nigga? No, I never do that. I was like, man, you missing out. There's a lot of love over there on that screen.
I see that over there. Oh Lord. And you know what? Like part of my issue, I think, subconsciously, with not wanting to even think about dating a white person, is that I am nervous about that one day. I'm gonna be like, oh, nigga, bitch. Like, you know, and I'll be like, yeah, but no, you know, so yeah, that's
I wish I would have found the Jeffersons episode. Cause wasn't there an episode on the Jeffersons when Tom called Helen a nigga?
Is it? I don't know.
It was. He said it because George was laughing at it. George was just. I remember that episode. He sure did.
Oh man,
yeah, George. That was the funniest I'd ever seen George Jefferson in life when he called it like that. And he just did that. Man, poor man, didn't know. I don't know if I was in an interracial relationship. My white wife would have to have a sense of humor.
Right.
Because I would call
I
crack.
think to be in an interracial relationship, you gotta have a sense of humor. I think that's the only way you really can tackle all the stuff that come at you, from the outside, and dealing with the race thing and all that kind of stuff. Like, you're gonna have to be lighthearted, and you're gonna have to, and I guess kind of know when to stand up and when to say something and when there's a lighthearted situation.
Right.
And this next clip made me think about that.
And then again, a lot of you niggas will let your white girl that you with or your Mexican girl that you with get off with a lot of shit and not check her because you just don't want to say nothing. But that's your job. If you're going to date outside your race, your job is to stand up for your race every single time that there is a misunderstanding or a lack of knowledge within. Because at that point, if you're not doing that, then what the fuck is you doing? Do you get what I'm saying? You pretty much the house nigga in the house that just let shit happen and you just turn the other cheek. That's not a productive member of the community.
I raised my eyebrow because I'm like, man, what exactly are you talking about? Like, I hear what he's saying, but I'm like, he should have rewound that to the.
So, what do you think he was trying to say? What would have been a better way to get his point across?
Don't be a slave in your interracial relationship. I mean, that's what he made it sound like.
Right. Like, like that the other person, the white or Spanish or whatever, is doing things and the black person is not saying nothing. I guess that's what he was saying. I hate when they have past the clips.
I know it's hard with the clip, but I figured he was on his way to, or in some part of that conversation that we didn't see, that he was on his way to like being able to stand up for, like, not letting nobody run roughshod on him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, like what Fred was talking about with the family member who's like, oh, well, I don't like you because you're one of us, right?
Right.
Well, cool, but you're gonna respect me in my house though. Or you can't come over, right? And so setting appropriate boundaries for those people or whatever, like,
right.
I'm not never invited to our house, right? Because she is who she is. But if we were interacting in any way, and I had to do that for myself with her, and look, what you're gonna stop doing is fucking with my baby. That's what you're gonna stop doing, okay? Because I don't want to step in, because I will step in if I gotta step in. But they're grown. Let's let them be grown. Okay, bye. But there reached a point that the disrespect had crossed such a line that I had to get in mama to mama and be like, yo, this is what we're not gonna do.
Chill the fuck out.
Chill the fuck out, right? And so there still has to be a sense of, like, it's almost like don't lose your culture in the midst of intermingling, right? And stuff like that. So, like, and speaking of which, we talking about the mixed babies and all that kind of stuff. What's heavy on them as a mixed child?
Are you black or white? And I think that's because at some point somebody gonna ask them that. You know what I mean? My grands are a lot. They're young, like elementary school young, so you ain't really dealing with anything like that right now. But at some point, somebody's gonna ask, like, do you relate to black or do you relate to being white? You know what I'm saying? And I'm real, and I want to. Well, it's too early. Well, it's not too early to talk to some of them. Mia definitely. But yeah, I'm trying to word it like, how do you? Because I'm not interracial. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I gotta work it without anger. I work it without defending my grandchild. I got to take all of those things out and say, this is the most intelligent way to handle it and shut it down, and you win. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So it's like working that out like that. But I think that's one of the most because to that child, the only black person and white person they taking into consideration is that the two people they love the most. So it's like you're asking me to choose between my mom and my dad. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's exactly what I'm asking you to do.
That's the way I'm gonna word it. That's the way I'm saying. You don't have to choose between your mom and your dad. Say, bitch, fuck you, I'm me.
That's right.
It's gonna come out something like that.
And that's a good thing to point out, is that when you're asking a child, are you white or are you black? or which one do you lean toward, whatever that is. You're asking them to choose between both of their parents who they love, immensely. Like, so that is what you're telling that child when you're asking that question.
Right.
But do you feel like it might be kind of like when you're going between grandparents? Like, I'm closer to my mother's side of the family than I am to my dad's side of the family.
Right.
Like, I we've hung out with my cousins on my daddy's side, but I'm way closer with y'all because we hung out at Shirley House all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
All the time. So I feel, especially with interracial relationships, that kind of play a part in it too. Which side of the family do you hang out with the most? Yeah.
Right.
I also feel like while they should, of course, they should be able to just be like, I'm mixed. I'm both.
Yeah.
Right.
But I have recognized the pattern that when it's a white man with a black woman, the relationship always seems more genuine. So I feel like I see more black men. I see more white men genuinely falling in love with their black woman, as to where I see white women is not all white women. I'll see more white women more fetishizing their black man.
Right.
So
so
I feel like when the kid has a black mom and a white dad, I feel like you'll see them more connect to their black side, to their more to being more Negro than Caucasian. But I do recognize when it is the opposite, when it is a white mom but a black dad. I guess it's because of the dynamic that there is, that it's usually that the kid is a little bit more whitewashed and is not as connected to their black culture as maybe the one that was raised by the black mom.
True.
Yeah. And I think, and therapeutically, because I've had lots of clients who are of mixed race, and I find kind of a trend of if mom is white, like the kid seems to struggle more with identity and stuff like that, and and that child, because that child is experiencing the same thing that black people experience, right? Because they are experiencing blackness everywhere they go as a mixed kid, right? Because you got to be real light and real blonde for people to mistake you for, and for you to be able to pass.
Right.
And even with that, I've seen white passing people who are like, they say some crazy shit around me. People just say all kind of shit because they think I'm white, right? And so they get to infiltrate sometimes and find out how people are and what they say and all that stuff, which solidifies the racism and all the things because they're hearing it firsthand, right? And so the identity of that person becomes harder to connect to because they're experiencing the racism. But white mom don't seem to get it. Whereas if it's black, white dad, like you said, maybe it's because of how they fall in love with, like when they fall in love with a black woman, they fall in love with everything about her, right? And stuff like that. And so because of that, they are so accepting and understanding and want to understand and they'll protect it, right? And stuff like that. And maybe it's a male thing, a protection thing, right? And stuff like that. But I do find that if the mom is white, that kid tends to struggle a little bit more because mama don't understand their struggle. She don't get it, right?
So
can't do that.
Are we saying Dr. Omar might have been right on that point?
Maybe there's some truth to it.
When the black man married a white woman, the white woman married a black man because she's technically in control.
Hell no. I ain't agreeing with that motherfucker. Hell no.
But there might be some, maybe.
I could go to Dr. Umar and I say, hey, Dr. Umar, what time is it? And he said 8:30. And I look at a clock and it's 8:30. I'm gonna be like, you're a goddamn lie, nigga. Where the school at? Where the school's at? Where the damn school's at?
Look, you're the one that said you want to look at it from all perspectives.
Yeah, that's true. That is a perspective. Yeah, he could be right. I'll just clown it, Dr. Umar. Don't come on this show with that shit. I'm from that neighborhood.
Oh, have mercy. Now you was finished with what you were saying?
I don't know. You can call me prejudiced. I'll gladly accept that. I am not the biggest fan of white and black interracial relationships, just because most of the ones that I've been shown, and not like I said, it's just most of them, not all of them, but a lot of the ones that I've been shown have been a lot of the white girl on black man. So like, it's been the more I'm fetishizing this black man, and I'm really trying to wear this black woman's culture as a costume. I'm trying to now be hip and with the culture now, because I'm with a black man, or I'm with this black man for the aesthetic of having mixed babies. And so it's always, there's a very bad, I'm not going to disregard the amount of white women that I have seen that are with their black man and appreciate their black man. And I appreciate those white women that do that. But just from my experience and what I've seen, it's just been a lot of, I'm with this man because it's cool to be with the black man. This black man makes me look, I'm going to by default look like a black woman and act like a black woman and have the aura of a black woman because I'm with this black man. It's envy, but at the same time, fetishizing. So like, it's not one of my favorite interracial relationships. I'm of course willing to look at each interracial relationship for what it is. But it's just very difficult for me to like be like team white and black people integrate in that way.
Right. So are you saying that there's some white women out there who in reality wants to be black, so they hook up with black men so that they can say, hey, look, I'm with this black man, so now I'm black?
Until it's not convenient.
I've
seen it happen until it's not convenient for them.
I've had friends that operate like that, like where she's with these black. And don't get me wrong, do I think she's attracted to him? For sure, like they're fine as fuck. But like, it's that she wasn't interested in learning shit about our culture. She wasn't interested in learning about who he was and learning how to do her little wanted mixed babies hair. There was no interest in learning about just us. It was just her wanting the stereotype, oh, I'm with a black man, so basically I'm better than or just as good as a black woman. And because most of the time the men that they're going after are the ones who have something against black women, only makes it worse.
That's that.
Because you're with a black man that don't even like his people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just telling me that you're racist as well.
Right. But what I've seen, and I mean my experience, it fully the opposite. Like I know a white woman, and she's white, but she's so down. I thought she was mixed for a long time.
I seen those.
Till I found out, like, oh, she's really
like
white.
white.
The black husband, they got a bunch of kids. You know what I mean? But when I say engulfed in the culture, in the culture. At one point, she had a meeting. That she had a meeting with her team, but during the time when the cops was murdering unarmed black people all over the place. Had a meeting, and it wasn't an official meeting. It wasn't job, it wasn't work related. It was just her. She just wanted to talk to us and had an honest fear about what was going on, like completely engulfed. And I recall one time a coworker of mine was like, "Oh, I can't stand her because she wearing a Black Girl Magic t-shirt and she white." But I'm like, that's a different kind of support. You know what I'm saying? She's not trying to be black.
Yeah, and those,
honestly,
honoring the black girl.
It's not a play, and it's not a ploy. In history, know it, because I didn't engage in those conversations, and it's not. Oh, I just read something online. It's an actual interest, and she'll say, "I have a 100% interest in here because I have black children." She don't even call her children mixed or interracial. She call them black children. She said because it doesn't matter that their mama is white. When society see them, they're just gonna be black children. So I was like, I said, you get it. You know what I'm saying? You get it. Yeah. So that's the
type of white women that I respect. I respect all white women that act like that. Like I have a friend now who is in an interracial relationship with the black woman. She happens to also be a black woman.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she happens to be a white woman, but it's
she get it
the exact same way. She get it. Like she's She wanna know more, and it's not out of a white savior complex. It's out of a I respect you and I love you, and I want to know more about my black child that we have together.
Exactly.
So it's I respect women like that. It's the ones like my past friend that I don't respect.
Yeah, because if you're gonna get into an interracial, even if you're a black man and you hooking up with a white woman, you need to learn their culture. You need to learn what they're about. Because y'all
they don't have culture.
Do they have
they do. But that's theirs though. It's theirs.
Right.
I respect everybody's, because they do. They have a culture. It's just it's not as cool as ours, but they have one.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
You know, but you do have to determine which parts they stole and which parts genuinely did.
And as you go through it, you may be educating your white spouse. Because they might not know their whole history. They're only gonna know what was told to them. But if you, like the lady at your job, she got a vested interest because she said, "I'm gonna marry this black man. I'm gonna have children with this black man. I'm gonna go through a whole bunch of shit."
Right, and have it at that pure understanding.
Right.
Yeah. So I need to know everything. Know what you're getting into.
Right, and that's the part that make it not colorblind, right? Because you need to know what you're getting into.
Right.
Just like anybody that gonna be with me gonna understand that I'm loud, and there are certain ways that I behave or I act or whatever that are me, and some of that come from Cheryl, and sometimes you can't get rid of that and all that. And they have some of it too. So that's a full acceptance of everything about that person.
Right.
And understand.
And my whole thing just simply is this with interracial couples. Interracial couples, I'm gonna say this. Interracial couples are my favorite couple because they prove that love wins everything.
I love that.
But with an interracial couple, the same way with a non-interracial couple, you have to get in there with that person, and you have to learn that person's way. Like you said, like sometimes you'll do the Auntie Cheryl, and I know a lot of watchers and listeners don't know Auntie Cheryl, but if you did, you would absolutely understand that. It gets loud.
When you talking about it, you'll know.
But you still have to learn that person. The thing that makes it extra work in an interracial relationship is not only do you have to learn that person, you do have to learn that person's culture. And that culture could be as big as, those families that go heavy into everything, or those families that just indulge in the almost expected parts of Black culture. Like, no, we're not going to the Rex parade, but damn right we're going to be out there at 6 o'clock in the morning for the Zoo. So it's those things, but it's the same learning experience. Even if it was a same race couple, you still have to learn that person,
Right. I agree. Right. And so we can't say like you say, love wins regardless, right? And all that. But like, you can't pretend that the parts that are there aren't there. We can't look past it and be like, oh well, I don't see this or I don't see that. That's like, that's not. It's like dating a vegan and you don't see that they don't eat meat.
So I'm gonna fry this chicken.
I'm gonna fry the chicken over, but like, baby, I don't eat meat.
Right.
Oh my gosh, like real stuff and real stuff and real stuff. So yeah, that was good talk. That was real good talk.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Let me see if I missed anything. We cover kind of love does conquer all if you're doing it right.
If you're doing it right, yeah.
You
Right.
know. And we talk about saviorism, so that's good. We covered all the good points, and all that. If y'all got good points out there, you know, and like hit up the comments and let us know what you think about the interracial discussion.
Right.
And
We want to hear from you, god dang it.
We do. We want to hear from you. You know, and if you got ideas for other subjects, because we came up with some while we was in here, I was writing them down as we was bringing them up. So, because there's always good discussion to be had and all that. But if y'all got questions, y'all got comments, y'all got information, you got ideas, like hit us up and let us know. Put it in the comments. This will be what I did last week. Last week I got the Spotify out like the next day. And then it took me a minute to get the YouTube up and all that. But I'm getting used to it. So it's gonna
So the YouTube is up? Because I was looking for the YouTube.
Yeah, the YouTube is up. The YouTube is up. So you know, you just gotta go to Choose an Empowerment YouTube page and boom, that's on there. So the more I get used to this, it'll be up quicker and all that, you know. But those of y'all that wasn't here live, we missed you.
Yep.
But you can watch a replay and still make comments. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? And all that. Next week, what we say we talking about next week? Accountability.
Oh my God, accountability.
Week. Next week we're talking about they took
I want to hear from the lady.
That nigga at the top of the screen right there know how to hold a nigga accountable.
Who, me?
Yup.
Oh, I hold niggas accountable. Yes. I don't care how old you is. You can be 2. You're gonna be held accountable. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's how we become our authentic selves, is through accountability.
Exactly.
Okay? And all that.
All right. Before we go.
Nay,
if any of our black queens out here need your beauty expertise, how can we reach you?
You can follow me on Instagram at essence_of_serenity. Or you can follow me on Facebook at Essence of Serenity. And you can email me as well at nay.essence@gmail.com. I forgot. I ain't changed it yet.
It's all right. It's fine. But
and how far do you travel?
And I like when you're doing the head thing when you're saying
I travel 25 miles outside of Leander in either radius.
All right.
If it's outside of that, then we'll talk other prices and stuff like that. But the traveling prices are included in the facials. That's why it's $140. So.
Right. You know, if you want your face to feel like a baby booty, because she got a baby booty facial, baby.
That's a smooth.
That's a smooth face.
That's a smooth booty.
New booty. That's new booty. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. You know. And if you don't remember anything that she just said, like, you can always hit up Choosing Empowerment, because I know how to get in touch with her, right? I know she a part of the business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think you can reach her.
Yeah, I think you can.
Right. You're connected now.
You know, Choosing Empowerment is still accepting new clients if you're looking for therapy or coaching or just skill building. We do all the things. You know what I'm saying? I even got a tarot reader on staff. So like, get into the tarot, I got you for that too. Okay. You know, because we holistic. You know what I'm saying? It's whatever you believe, we're gonna get into it. You know what I'm saying? People heal in different ways, baby. You gotta cover all of it.
I'm down with that holism.
Hello, not holism. Holism, okay, y'all. Somebody gonna take that and run with it.
We don't see either.
You see that in the clip?
Discriminate against the hoes.
No, we don't discriminate against hoes, pimps. All of y'all come out here because everybody need to feel good. I'm just saying.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Exactly.
I work on a whole face too.
Now you see, if y'all see a body just dive across G Money's screen and he disappeared, don't worry about it.
I'm all right. I'm all right.
Not about them hoes, no. Thank y'all so much for the conversation. My brother B, my brother Fred, my daughter Nay. We appreciate y'all. We wish our other guests would have came, but we're gonna catch him on the next time and all that.
He got caught in work at the last
let us
minute,
know if you come up with a topic you want to talk about and you want to be here. Come on with it. Come on, and don't forget about custom creations. Get your break.
Yeah, don't forget about
get that.
All right, and all that good stuff. So that's the end of our show for today, and we see y'all next week, same place, same time.
Mm-hmm.
Black Power.
Like and subscribe, goddamn it.
All right on.
All right.
Oh wait, I'm about to mess up.